everybody, welcome to Pete and Jeremy's D&D time. This is game 3 this evening, an adventure I've entitled Grandarf Goes to the Doctaurs. And yeah, that's it. Grandarf is going to the doctor. Our heroes, adventurers in Bartholomew's Adventuring Company, fledgling heroes in Bartholomew's Adventuring Company, have been hired to escort the elderly wizard and kind of crazy cat lady, Grandarf, to the Doctaurs and to make sure that she gets home safe and sound. Sounds simple enough. So before we jump right in, let's take a minute to introduce each of our characters this evening. Our first character is a returning character here in the lands of D&D time. We have Lil Bunny Fufu. Little Bunny Fufu, how are you?
Hey, Jeremy.
You know, every time I say your name, I just want to say Lil Bunny Fufu, who is no more than 2, but that's Lil Cindy Lou Who.
I think this is the first time that we met. I'm usually with the other guy. Lil Booper told me that there was 2.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm sure you're going to have a great time, Lil Bunny Fufu. This sounds, do you like your adventures usually?
It's a little weird. The first one kind of threw me off, but, you know.
That's fair.
It's so cool.
What inspires you to adventure here in the land of D&D time, Bunny Fufu?
Oh, Lil Booper said that I could make friends if I adventure, and so I'm here to make friends.
How's that been going so far?
It's hard. I try to tell jokes, but, you know, I've made a few friends, but not as many as I thought I would.
Aren't you friends with Frostbyte over here?
He said that he would be my friend, as long as... Are you still my friend?
We'll have to check in with Frostbyte in a minute when we do.
Yes, I am your friend.
There we go. Well, Lil Bunny Fufu, I'm sure you're going to have plenty more opportunities to make some great friends in this adventure. Good luck.
I know Lil Booper made one. He's on an adventure with her today. Or at least that's what he said.
Not going to read into that. So, our next adventurer to join us this evening is Frostbyte. Frostbyte, now I didn't really actually mention, Little Bunny Fufu is, in fact, a little bunny creature. Frostbyte, you're a human-sized spider person.
Yes, I am an entothrope, specifically a spider area.
I say that specifically for our blind audience, because obviously I can see you perfectly fine right now. So, can you tell me a thing or two about yourself, Frostbyte? What brings you to adventure and all of that good stuff?
Well, I was sent here by my queen to gather information about the lands of D&D, more or less.
Have you found any good information yet? Like anything important to report? Or is this like an invasion kind of buying thing? Or
it is just information in general, saying what use lands of D&D time could be for the hive, and of course for the illustrious insect queen.
Can I take a guess so far? Absolutely useless, am I right?
I wouldn't say that, but but you would have to ask the insect queen as to.
That's fair. I don't want you to be.
What uses this land could have.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I have one last quick question before we jump on to the next character, and that is, Frostbyte, you have lots of arms, or maybe they're legs. It's kind of hard to tell. And
lots of extra limbs.
And a bit of a strangely shaped body. I'm wondering, does that present any particular difficulties in your day-to-day life?
I don't imagine so.
No problems.
I can't understand how you can only have 4 limbs and
it's sometimes my legs get tired, and then what do? I have to sit down. I imagine you can just swap to different legs, right?
Well, not necessarily, but I mean, it's like comparing apples and oranges, I guess.
And you're the orange because oranges taste better. Anyway, thank you for joining us, Frostbyte. I hope you have a great adventure. Our next hero today is He's a pretty sizable hero has joined us. It is Treetop. Treetop, you are a Goliath fighter. Welcome to the Bartholomew's Adventuring Company. How are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. Why, thank you.
Now, Treetop, what would you say you do? Right? What's your kind of MO? Some might call you a barbarian.
Yes, I was in my teens. I was captured. My village was attacked, and I was sold to the King's Guard. And there, I have learned a great deal on how to swing my great axe. And through my bravery, the king has granted me my freedom, and now I am trying to find my way home if it is still there.
Okay, so I guess my first question: were you like, was your people wherever you're from? Were you attacking and then were captured, or were you attacked by the king?
We were attacked by the. I don't know what group it was. Like I said, I was a young teen then, and
of course,
they definitely tackled me. It took 10 of them to take me down, and next thing I knew, I was in chains. And luckily, the King's Guard came by and saw some kind of potential in me, and they sold me to them.
Do you hold any hard feelings against the King's Guard, or is it all kind of water under the bridge now that it's been a while? Or how long has it been, actually? That's another question.
It's been a good, I'm going to say,
been some years
now. About 8 years, 9 years, and you know, life is like the seasons. You just have to change with them as they come and go.
That is an excellent way to look at life. Well, I hope, Treetop, that serving in Bartholomew's little adventuring company here helps you to get the information you need to hopefully find your way back to your people. Is it like a tribe, or is it a small kingdom in its own right?
It was just a small tribe on the edge of the kingdom of our area.
I see. Well, you know what? I hope you find your way back. And of course, good luck on this adventure. This adventure should be a little bit. It should be a little easier than you shouldn't have to swing your axe too much. I hope. We'll have to.
We'll see.
And of course, welcome. And
Thank
our
you.
final hero this evening is a You are a handful, buddy. You're a tiefling monk, Zarus Barmos. Gosh, I was having a hard time pronouncing your name in my head. My apologies. How are you?
Oh, that's all right. Fine, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Welcome to Bartholomew's Adventuring Company, Zarus.
Thank you.
What brings you to travel the lands of DnDTime?
Money.
It's cash money. I like that. You know what? You know what you want. That's totally cool. So, is there something you want the money for, or is it just if you get enough money, you don't have to worry about anything?
Well, I'm currently writing a book, and I would like to get that published at some stage, but I need money to do that.
Oh, I'm very interested. There are a couple. I think there's one other prolific author in the lands of DnDTime, but so his books are a little simple, some might say. I mean, I don't want to disparage him, but I'm just wondering, what are you writing about, or is this a top secret for now?
No, it's a life story book of my own. So it's a work in progress at the moment. So,
well, Zarus, that sounds very interesting. I'd love to hear it once it's finished up.
Okay. Well, the first chapter goes once. That's all I've got so far.
Well, you know what? I think that's a really good start. That's a really good start. I might call that the best start, even. So you're really just is this like part of why you're here? Is it's money, but it's also to get that life experience?
More or less.
Excellent. Well, Zarus, I'm sure you're gonna have a wonderful time. You're gonna learn a lot of interesting things to put in that little memoir of yours. And of course, welcome to the game. I'm glad to have you.
Thank you very much.
And so, as our adventure begins, you have found your way from Bartholomew's shop after being given your quest. Again, you are to escort an elderly wizard by the name of Grandarf to the doctors so that she can do whatever she needs to do there, and then make sure she gets home safely. Grandarf, Bartholomew, the shopkeeper, has warned you that Grandarf tends to get into a little bit of mischief. So that's why he's sending you along. He's very, he wants to take care of us. And so you've made your way to Central City, a veritable metropolis in the lands of DnDTime. There are fairly large buildings of multiple stories, a few even arcane factories in place, powered by magic to create things like newspapers, like even every so often a magically powered cart without horses. However, that's not where you're really headed, not into the depths of the city. You're headed to a small cottage just on the outskirts, only a few blocks away from really the beginning of the city proper. As you walk down the road, the four of you together, you see a simple little home. It has a white picket fence. It is painted a very soft yellow color. On one of the ledges, there's a little ledge by the window, a little flower pot hanging off the side, and it smells like, there's a pie sitting on there cooling. And yeah, it's got a little chimney that's slowly kind of poofing out some light smoke. Yeah. So, who wants to approach the door as you're kind of getting over? This is supposedly the residence of Grandarf.
I will walk up and step over the little white fence.
Yeah, you easily do so. It's very small.
And walk up to the door and thump it with my big index finger.
Yeah. Excellent. Just bump, bump. Oh, just a moment. A voice kind of calls from the inside. And a few moments later, the lot of you see the door open, and standing behind is a very old-looking woman. I mean, wizards can magically extend their life. This woman looks at least 105, probably older. You don't understand how she could walk. She stands with a very simple little cane, very hunched over, hair tied up in a simple gray bun, with a pair of half-moon spectacles resting on her nose. She has a smile to her face that would warm any heart, and she says, "Oh, hello! It must be the adventurers that Bartholomew said he was sending."
Hey, can we have some pie?
Oh, yes, please come in. I have some fresh crumpets, too.
And little bunny Fufu, you seem really nice.
Hello, I'm
Little Bunny
Grandarf.
Fufu, we were sent to escort her to the doctors. We do not have
That
time
doesn't
for
mean
pie.
we can't enjoy some pie. We have to
Can't we
get
have
there.
some pie first before the doctors?
Yeah, we can have some pie first.
I'd be down for pie.
I don't know if I can fit through the door, or my head might hit the ceiling.
You definitely have to be hunched over a little bit, but you also see in the house behind her, there's just a of cats, and you see maybe like 8 or 9 cats walking around in there. Some of them are walking up some stairs up to a second floor. Stairs that would be small even for like a normal-sized human to walk up. You'd have a very hard time, Treetop. But the little sitting room, there's like a couch you could sit on that might work. You might not scrape your head on the ceiling.
I have a
Please
tendency when I sit on furniture, it breaks. So
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I would rather stand outside and look through the door.
Okay, I could open the window for you. It'd be closer to the sitting area.
Okay, that would be fine.
And I'll bring
Okay.
you some pie.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Let's have some delicious blueberry pie. And Grandarf just kind of slowly walks. She walks like with her little with her cane. She kind of almost hobbles. She hobbles into the kitchen, comes out with a nice plate full of scones, lays them down on a little simple coffee table in the middle of the room. There's some very old-looking couches. They're nice, but you feel like they're probably kind of fragile. She opens a window that you can kind of look through a treetop. And yeah, if you guys want, you just sit down and have some delicious scones and pie.
Oh, you've been sent by Bartholomew to bring me to the doctors, right?
That is correct.
That's what I was told, but things tend to get kind of screwy. You should have seen once we jumped in a punch bowl and then we were falling down a well and then we landed on the bridge. It was
As you kind of like look up from like maybe you went to grab a scone as you're giving your story. She's actually taken out like a ball of yarn and is knitting, just out of nowhere as you're having this conversation.
Oh yes, it's very nice, Sonny.
So when is your doctor's appointment, ma'am?
Oh,
Kind of looks over.
I'm actually a little late. I probably should have left, but I wanted to sit down and have some pie with you all, such charming gentlemen.
Well, we were hired to escort you to the doctor, so let's go. I'm sure we can make
she's
up the
always
lost.
late. She's already late. She could be a little later. It's fine.
No, it's fine. We'll take some pie and crumpets for the road. Sit down, kitten, sit down.
She kind of like knocks a couple kittens away with her cane. They kind of scatter away, get out of her way. She's walking toward the door.
Don't worry, I'll be back in time to feed you.
And the cats kind of leave her alone at that statement.
All right, so I'm going to a new physician this time. As you've probably seen, I'm kind of on the southern part of Central City, so we're going towards Southtown a little bit. Just in between the two, so it should be a fine little...
Isn't that like a dangerous place?
Well, that's why I'm not going all the way to Southtown, and there's nothing dangerous about them. It's just, there's some undead people there. Anyway.
I tried to make friends. They don't want to be my friend. I do like the pie, though.
Do you have a pair of riding slacks?
What?
Do you have a pair of riding slacks?
Oh, I always wear a pair of riding slacks underneath my dress.
And she's wearing like a lilac colored dress with some white flower pattern on it, and she just kind of like pulls it off, and yeah, she's wearing like an ye old Wild West like riding outfit underneath.
Always need to be ready.
How would you feel riding on my shoulders as we walk through town?
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Hey, can I find the other one?
No, he's mine.
Grandarf shooing you away with her cane.
All right, let's go.
Let's keep the nice lady happy.
As long as
There goes the doctor.
Look, the pie is making my fur turn purple because of the rabbits in it.
So it sounds like most of you have followed Grandarf outside the main road. Is anyone just still in Grandarf's little cottage? Or are you all heading out?
They're eating pie.
I'm grabbing pie.
Okay. So we have Zarus and little bunny Fufu just still sitting in the living room eating pie. Grandarf is like trying to get up on Treetop's shoulders outside, and it's like kind of working. And poor Frostbyte, you're tapping your many legs like, we're late. We're already late for the mission.
I will pick her up and put her on my shoulders on both of them. She can straddle me like a little kid does on their
Absolutely.
daddy looking at a carnival going by.
Yep. And up she goes, and yeah, she seems to have a pretty good hold up there.
And I looked up at her and say, this might be a little faster. We might be able to get you to your appointment on time.
Oh, that's wonderful. You're probably right. I walk so slowly. All right, you all in there? Are you coming? We're going now.
Wow.
I grab another piece and I start walking with you.
I look in the window and say, come, we got a job we have to do.
So, which of you ate pastries from Grandarf's little house? Did everyone?
Frostbyte did not.
So, unfortunately, I think Frostbite's the only one who does not gain the benefits of Grandarf's delicious pastries. So, oh no, it's gonna be 2d8s. So, you guys, the rest of you, so anybody, Fufu, Treetop, and Zarus, because you each partook in the delicious treats, you each gain 7 temporary hit points, which that goes on top of your normal hit points. So basically, just increase hit points by 7 for now.
That's
There's
fine.
temporary
Frostbyte is
hit
level
points
3.
below your normal hit points.
Yeah. So, the rest of you, actually, all of you, you begin to head out. Grandarf gives you some instructions, and you begin to head south away from Central City, and Grandarf is all excited, riding on your shoulder, like, oh, I feel like a little girl again.
So you're comfortable up there? Good.
It's wonderful. There's a bit of a breeze. Oh, be careful of those power lines.
And, you duck down, but, I mean, there's still, the power lines are way up higher. And after a fairly, 20-minute walk, it's not far, you get to an old building in Grandarf. It's labeled Doctaurs. And Grandarf is like, all right, let me down. This is it.
All right. So I help her off my shoulders and I put her on the ground and I pat her on the back and say, lead the way.
All right. And she goes and she takes a dress out of her tiny little purse and puts it back on over her head. It just goes on over her riding clothes, of course. And it's just an identical violet and with white flower dress.
He's, all right, I'm gonna go in, and well, I guess you all wait here, and when I come back, then you help to make sure I get home safe and sound.
Yes, I will be here.
And she walks in, she opens the door, closes. It's a fairly nondescript building. There's like a bench outside. There's a street lamp. It's currently the street lamp, actually, because it's an ever-burning torch, a magical lamp. It's currently bright, even though it's the middle of the day.
Frostbyte sits on the bench, pulls out some webbing, and starts weaving it into a web.
Wow, Treetop, Zarus, you guys are lucky. This is like a really chill mission.
I think Bunny Rabbit, you ought to go inside and sit by her.
I mean,
I don't think that's a smart
idea.
Frostbyte says.
No, I know. People don't tend to want to be my friend. I'll go inside.
If something happens...
No, it's not that, Frostbyte. It's, I'm sure, it's just, your face is covered in pie. You might want to wash that off.
Oh yeah, it did turn my fur purple. Treetop, you do got a little blue up on you.
Oh, thank you. But
So
I think we should have eyes on her just in case if something happens in there. You can give us a holler or a scream and we can run in.
Good logic to me.
Then how about we have Zarus go in? I mean...
Okay, that sounds if somebody needs to go in. I don't think I'll fit it too comfortable in there.
Don't worry, I got it.
I mean, I can come if you need me to.
I would appreciate it. I do not trust Bunny Fufu on his own. He has a penchant for falling asleep and waking up covered in rust.
It is true, I am narcoleptic. I fall asleep sometimes, it's weird.
So, you two walk up to the door. It's a fairly simple. It's like a glass. It's got like a big glass pane, but the glass is super frosted, so you can't really see into it very well. You see like the vague silhouette of a room beyond, but you don't really see anything in there necessarily. There's like a desk maybe, and it looks like there might be a figure sitting behind the desk, but it's super hard to tell. And you go to open the door, and it kind of just doesn't move. It seems to be locked.
We got a problem.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm just telling everyone else that we've got a problem with the door.
What's the problem with the door?
It's locked.
Frostbyte stands up and goes to push the door.
You push on it, it's locked. It
Hmm.
kind of. And
Well, I guess she'll be out when she's ready.
you see the figure like that you can barely see silhouetted behind the frost, sitting behind the desk, stand up and start to like slowly walk toward the door, approaching.
All right.
Then, if you want to do anything, or are you just gonna wait till they open the door or get to the door?
I'm gonna wait.
Gonna wait.
I'm going to approach the door and wait.
Okay. So you're all just kind of waiting by the door. And as the figure gets closer, they don't open the door. Instead, you see just the open sign get turned around to closed. And then they go to walk away.
At
That's
this
not
point, Frostbyte's gonna
good.
try and open the lock.
What was that, Treetop?
I'm going to walk up and take my
Oh no.
axe and hit it against the glass on the door.
Wait, Treetop. Let me try to open the door by picking
There's
the
no
lock.
reason
Why?
to fight the door.
They locked us out. She's in there. We're supposed to protect her. To me, that
Yes,
is
but we
dangerous.
don't want to have Bartholomew to pay to the door. He doesn't like that, I'm told. He's a very, very frugal wizard.
I just don't like fighting. That's pretty bad.
I'll give you 2 attempts. If it doesn't open, then I'm going to smash the glass and walk in.
Very well. If I can't open the door, you can smash the glass.
All right.
Has anyone tried knocking?
Yes.
Yeah, when you knocked, some figure moved up to the door from the inside and then just moved the sign so it says closed instead of open now. They seem to be ignoring you.
Alright, so I would like to pick the lock now.
Okay. Do you have thieves' tools?
I have these tool proficiency, but I didn't.
Then yes, yeah, you've
I have a crowbar.
Well, do you want to crowbar the door open, or you want to try and pick the lock?
I'm gonna try and pick the lock.
So you take out your thieves' tools, you're holding them in your many spider arms, and you begin to start fiddling with it. Can you roll me a thieves' tools? Which for you is just going to be a dexterity roll with proficiency. So you can just hit the dexterity button if you want, or if you have a button on your sheet for thieves. You can just hit your dexterity button, that'll be fine. Oh yeah. So you click, and yeah, it takes Frostbyte the better part of like 15 seconds to pick this lock. Pretty quick. But you all hear just a very delightful click, and you see the door handle just kind of like flag down a little bit, like it's definitely unlocked.
See, fighting isn't necessary. We can now be chill.
The figure inside is still walking back toward the desk area, but they do not seem to react to the door being picked. They probably didn't hear it, you think.
Frostbyte opens the door and says, "Excuse me, I'm looking for a cat lady by the name of Grandarf."
All right, so you open the door, and all of you see forward into what looks like a simple foyer to, like, maybe a doctor's office or something. The walls are painted blue. There's some kind of white trim on the wall at the kind of base of the walls and at the ceiling. You see a very simple wooden desk in the center of the room just ahead of you with, like, a potted plant next to it. There's some papers scattered around. And you see a figure in a kind of white or like a dark teal set of clothing, kind of like orderly's clothing. And you see the back of their head is really ratty looking greasy hair that just is kind of going everywhere. But they have the straps of like a face mask, like one of those white face masks coming off the back of the head. They're currently facing away from you. They don't see what they look like from the front, and they're wearing what look like white latex gloves. And they just stop as you open the door and you say that. And without turning to face you, the figure says, "Go home."
I can't go home until I can ensure the safety of Grandarf.
Doctor busy. Wait.
Bartholomew sent us.
Go home.
Bartholomew won't let us go home until we are sure Grandarf is safe.
As that third kind of moment, and does anyone else want to do anything as this is happening? As
Yes,
Frostbyte is talking.
I'm going to duck my head and walk into the door, and my great axe kind of gets stuck on the door, and it rips it off the hinges. And the glass breaks, and I look back and say, "Oops!" And
I think that requires a strength check.
No, it just works. That's fine.
Okay.
Be careful with that. You might hurt someone.
And then I can't stand up. I don't. How tall is the ceiling in there?
It's actually tall. It's quite tall. Absolutely tall enough for you.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, with like some clearance, you could swing your axe easily. It's weirdly tall.
Stand up straight then, and I put my axe in front of me on the floor, while holding it, and say that we need to know where Mrs. I look at the little bug next to me. What was her name?
Grandarf. And I'm a spider, thank you.
Well, I'm sorry. Spiders, bugs are all the same to me. We need to know where she is.
Okay. Zarus, are you moving in as well?
Yeah, I'm behind them. I just point to him and I said, "Yeah, he's right."
All right. At this point,
I'm just sticking back and I'm picking glass off of my giant carrot.
You're just like, "Oh no, there's glass all over my giant iron carrot." I love that. So at this point, the orderly kind of slowly begins to turn to face you, and as they do, you see that it is no simple man. As you turn, you see a face of decay and rot. One eye, not just gone, but hanging out and kind of drooping by a little strand, just hanging in front of their face by their cheek. The other eye bulbous and swollen. They turn toward you. You see what is very clearly a zombie dressed as an orderly wearing a face mask. And the zombie says, "Go home."
I'm sorry, good sir, but we can't go home without Lady Grandarf.
From the floor, my axe comes up, and I take a swing at its head.
Absolutely. All right. That's what I figured. I'm gonna let you take your first swing, Treetop, and then we're gonna roll for initiative if we need to. So you can go ahead first. Go ahead with your attack.
All right.
And you're first in the initiative because you just went.
16.
A 16 will absolutely hit. To roll the damage, just hit the word "great axe" in the chat, and it'll go ahead.
9.
9 splashing. All right. You swing your axe. It connects to this zombie, and I'm actually gonna roll for this zombie because it might be dead. Yep. This zombie dies. You decapitate it with your axe, and it flumps to the ground.
Frostbyte just sighs and says,
Then I swing
"It
my
is not
axe.
illegal to be undead."
Little
in
Bunny
Central City.
Fufu knocks out.
Then I swing my axe to clean the blade, and the blood sprays across the walls.
Treetop, there are many undead in Central City. It is perfectly legal to be undead here. You just killed an innocent person, you know.
In the distance, you just hear, "Oh, help me! I'm trapped!
Little
They've
Bunny
captured me!"
Fufu fell asleep.
So little
Or
Bunny Fufu
maybe
is standing
not.
there, just.
But, okay, I take that back. They might not have been innocent.
No, he fell asleep.
In the King's Guard, there is no good zombies. Where did that voice come from? Where is she? What
She
direction?
appeared to be calling from down a hallway to the left, and you see the shadows of several more figures kind of moving toward you from that hallway. Can you all roll for me initiative now? To do that, all you need to do is click on the initiative button on your character. I think. Is that what it is? Yes. It'll be just the word initiative on your character. Oh, you're all way ahead of me. Nice, Zarus. That's good. Zarus, Treetop, Fufu, and Frostbyte. And I will roll for the monsters. Right. We got a 12 and an 11. All right.
What about Lady Grandarf?
She's not rolling right now.
But she is a wizard.
I'm confused. What? She is a wizard.
Yes.
You're getting me now. All right. So, Zarus, you are the first to go in this initiative. So, right now, you are standing at the entrance to this room, this kind of foyer, and you see the shadows of maybe 4 figures moving down one of the hallways, coming from the direction Grandarf was just yelling. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna just run at them.
Okay. So you, it takes about 10 feet or 15 feet of movement to run across the room to the entrance to that hallway. And then looking down the hallway, yeah, you see what looks like 2 zombies, again, dressed like these kind of orderlies, and they are carrying a stretcher that has 2 skeletons on it, but they're like half skeletons, they're just the top half. And they look at you surprised. Would you like to run over and attack them, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay,
so,
cool. Go ahead.
I'll have my quarterstaff in my one hand. So I'll just swing that at the one closest to me.
Sure. Do you want to attack one of the zombies or the skeleton?
The zombie.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and run for it. You hit the quarterstaff button. Oh no! The 5 unfortunately means you crit failed. So you swing and unfortunately miss with the quarterstaff. Do you want to take your unarmed attack?
Yeah. So
Awesome.
I'll attack this.
Alrighty, the 9 against you attacking which one?
The zombie.
Zombie. Alright, so the 9 will actually hit the zombie. Their armor classes are fairly low. So what is your unarmed strike? Is it like a headbutt, a tail whip, or just a punch?
Yeah, I'll just headbutt him.
Excellent. So you rush over, swing at the quarterstaff. The zombie just kind of goes to the side, and you rush forward with your head, your tiefling horn slamming it in the face for 7 damage. That is a lot, actually, for these guys. It is still alive after 7 damage, though. All right. So that's the end of your turn. I think, right? You don't have any other actions because you can have a movement in your bonus action and an action. So you're all good.
Nope. That's all.
The zombies are going to go. The 2 zombies drop the stretcher they were carrying with the skeleton on it and move forward toward you, Zarus. And they're going to make slam attacks. They just try and punch you. The first zombie gets an 11 to hit. Do you know what your armor class is?
16.
Alright, so it does not hit you, and its second zombie goes to swing and gets a 13. You deftly dodge both of the zombies' strikes. Now it's the skeleton's turn in the initiative order. And you see this, like, horrible skeleton abomination on the floor. It looks like 2, it looks like 2 top halves of maybe humans that have just been mushed into one pile, and they each, a bunch of arms kind of come out of this pile of bones, each holding ribs, and try and slash at you with these ribs. That's a 23 to hit. So 1 hit against you for 6 slashing damage. And the other one critical fails. So you've taken 6 slashing damage so far. I think that's been mostly offset by the food Grandarf fed you.
Yeah.
So that is the end of the skeleton's turns. We move to Treetop.
as I see that these unholy, undead creatures are attacking my comrades, I go into a rage for my bonus action.
Excellent. Does your rage, is it like a battle cry for you, or does do your eyes like glow red, or do you just get mad?
And I'm gonna dash in. What you say? They're 15 feet away from me.
Yeah, you can easily get to it.
With a big battle roar.
Excellent.
And the closest one I see, I'm gonna swing on him with my great battle axe.
Alrighty, go ahead and take your attack roll. You want to go for that zombie then? The one that,
The zombie.
You might be able to finish him off. Zarus hurt it really bad. And, alright, an 8 actually still hit.
Ooh.
These zombies have very low armor. They're very slow, so it makes them very easy to hit. And 6 slashing damage might finish him off. Zombies have a feature where they can resist death blows if they roll really well. Let's see if they... Roll 20, you gonna roll? Alright. This zombie is barely surviving. You slash it for 6 damage, and it like reels back. Your axe embeds into its chest. You tear the axe free, and the zombie is like, still holding on somehow. It just won't quite die. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Treetop? I don't know if you have any bonus action. Oh, you already raged, so you're all good. All right. Little Bunny Fufu, you were asleep last we saw you. You just kind of had one of your narcoleptic fits and conked out right by the door where there was this glass all over the ground.
Blood!
Oh no.
Roll in the blood! Roll in the blood! Fresh blood! Must hunt the blood!
You have your blood frenzy episode. Would you like to do anything?
Hunt for fresh blood! Stab!
There's currently no fresh blood. There's a lot of old blood.
The blood must bathe in the blood.
Okay. So you guys, Zarus and Treetop, you see the bunny folk, the cute little bunny you've been traveling with, rush past you with like a blood frenzy in their eyes, cackling maniacally. And yeah, you see there's lots of fresh blood right there. All right. You swing your giant metal carrot at the zombie that Treetop almost finished off. And you hit it pretty hard. Let's see if it lives.
Bathe in the blood.
It live? It actually survives. You take your swing at it, and
your blood will be mine.
Stab it with your giant metal carrot. You have 2 giant metal carrot attacks?
Blood!
Oh, right, because you're frenzied. Oh, jeez. All right, go ahead and take your second attack. Oh, my goodness. That's a lot of damage. That one finishes off that zombie.
Raise it up, shower in blood! Oh, the blood!
You guys watch as this little bunny rabbit impales the blood on a weird carrot-painted sword and holds it above himself and is just slowly covered in the black sludge-like blood this zombie had. All right, Fufu. Jesus Christ. Frostbyte, it's your turn. You see Fufu's having one of their episodes again.
I'm going. Let's see. How many are left of the zombies?
You see the weird skeleton amalgamation and one more zombie.
How close are they to each other?
They're pretty close. They're actually right next to each other.
Alright, I am going to cast Silmar's Snowball Swarm.
Interesting. So you conjure forth some magical juju. That's very interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it is an interesting spell.
Alright, so you conjure forth a barrage of snowballs that go to hit both the zombie and the skeleton amalgamation. The skeleton amalgamation gets a 9 and fails its saving throw. And the zombie gets a critical success and still, I mean, that's an 18, it's got a -2, So the zombie manages to dodge most of your snowball swarm's damage.
Yeah.
The skeleton gets bludgeoned pretty bad. 10 cold damage?
Yep.
All
Zombie
right.
takes 5.
Yep. So both of them are still looking pretty good. I mean, you've definitely damaged them both, but not bad. Actually, you set them both up to get potentially killed. Depends on who hits them. Anything else you'd like to do, Frostbyte? Are you staying back?
Yeah.
Okay. At the top of the
I'm close enough to see them through my tool.
Oh, easy.
That is all.
At the top of the initiative, you all hear Grandarf calling out from down the hallway. Oh no! Leave me alone, you horrible doctor! Zarus, it's your move.
I'm going to take my quarterstaff in both hands this time and just spin it around my head as fast as I can. I'll run at the skeleton
Sure.
and just slam it down as hard as I possibly can with both.
Oh my god! I just thought of something.
Well, let's see this.
I'll wait for it.
Oh,
I'll wait for it. I'll wait.
There we go. So you swing with your quarterstaff, and you slam into it, and you hit it. And what would normally happen when you hit like a creature with bludgeoning damage, like with your quarterstaff, is it'd go and like bruise. When you hit a skeleton with it, it just explodes, and bones just go everywhere. And so, because it was softened up by that snowball swarm, you just finish it off. Your swing with a quarterstaff, bones go flying, and the skeleton amalgamation is scattered to the wind. It is just ripped apart and all over the place. Would you like to do anything with your second attack?
No.
Okay. You don't want to attack the other zombie nearby?
I thought when I use two-hand, I don't get that unarmed.
No. You definitely do. You
Oh,
still get
well,
that.
then I'm gonna slap him with my tail.
All right, yeah. As part of that 6 spin, you spin around and wha-cha at the zombie. And the 8 will still hit the zombie. Zombies are not very fast, so go ahead and roll me your damage. So it's only going to be the 5, because the 2 would have been if you had rolled that critical hit, but that's still 5 more damage on that zombie. It is still kicking, though. Barely. Look at it, it's barely holding on, as your tail whips it across the chest. And it's the zombie's turn, actually. The zombie is probably going to attack... it's either going to attack you or Bunny Fufu. I'm going to have it attack Bunny Fufu. Bunny Fufu, as you're screaming and holding this other zombie's corpse up in the air, the first zombie goes and attacks. Did you recklessly attack on your turn? I don't remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Must
that's
have
your
the blood at all costs.
That was your recklessness, as you're holding the body up. You don't see the second zombie come over and try and punch you. It's a 14 to hit?
No.
All right, and misses.
You think you get my blood, I get yours.
And yeah, it just kind of misses. The skeleton is dead, so Treetop, it's your move. There's only a single zombie left in front of you, and it's not looking that great. You hear Grandarf calling for aid from down the hall.
I give a yell, a loud yell, and the windows start vibrating, and I swing my axe.
Excellent.
12.
12 will definitely hit. Let's see how much damage you get out.
7.
All right, that might kill it. Let's find out. I roll a Constitution save for the zombie, and that will finish him off. That does not roll high enough to survive. And as you embed your axe in this zombie, it just kind of collapses and crunches down with the force of your swing. And the zombie and the skeletons, the zombies and skeletons before you seem to have been defeated. What would you all like to do?
Frostbyte tells everybody to wait. I'll go get Grandarf.
Okay, you still hear Grandarf calling for help up ahead.
Yeah, Frostbyte runs off ahead and opens the door.
So an initiative?
Yeah, you guys are still actually... You should still be in initiative. So, Fufu, it's actually your turn.
Ugh.
Sorry, it's not quite...
No more fresh blood. I could smell the blood.
Actually, you do smell fresh, actually fairly fresh blood. It's through a door directly to your right.
Hunt the blood.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
I can hear your blood. It calls me. It wants to be on me. Don't deny your wish.
Okay, you charge through the door. All right. So yeah, you charge through the door, and in here, it appears to be some sort of diabolical operating chamber. You see what looks like just rows and rows of little metal carriages that you know maybe like a dead body would be on. They're covered in sheets and have the vague shapes of humanoids under those sheets. Maybe like there are dead. You see one of them at the end of the room has the sheet kind of slightly pulled back, but there's no head left on this creature. There's just blood everywhere, all over the ground, splattered on the walls. And you see floating right above that body, where there's the missing head, a scalpel and a small mirror, just kind of floating there. Do you do anything, Fufu?
You would think that you could take my blood as mine. You're not allowed to harvest my blood.
Do you run in?
Destroy.
All right, you rush forward, and as you do, you get to that metal cart, and you can see the scalpel is still floating there, held by some invisible force. Same with the little mirror, but you see floating up behind the little metal crate, little carriage, is what looks like a human skull that is on fire. What would you like to do? You still have your action if you like.
Stab!
Okay, you attack the flaming skull. It's flying, a flying flaming skull. I will roll for it to see what its initiative. It got a 6, so it goes. That's probably the best spot for it. All right. What did you get for your attack? Oh, was that a 9? Oh, you attack recklessly. Okay. Your 23 will connect. Okay. So you hit the flame skull with your giant metal carrot for 7 damage. All right. We move to the next in the initiative.
Again.
Oh, okay. You'll hit with that. For 13 damage. It is badly damaged as you slam into this flaming skull twice. And we move to...
Rip off a sheet?
There's just a dead person under it.
Take my blood!
Okay. Frostbyte, what would you like to do? It appears Little Bunny Fufu is fighting a flaming skull in the room next to you, which is not the room Grandarf is in.
I go to the room Grandarf is in and open.
Okay, so you rush down that hallway?
Yeah.
Okay. The door is closed and appears to be locked. And by locked, I mean like you push at it, it's barred on the other side. And you hear Grandarf, "Help me!"
I call out to the door. Doctor, is she actually in any danger?
You just hear a deep ha 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 voice on the other side. Oh no!
Magic missile the door.
Okay. You attack the door. Can you go ahead and roll me your damage? 3 missiles of magic attack the door. Okay. That's going to be 8 points of damage total. All right, the door is damaged badly, kind of splintered. It is still holding on, though. Still connected, still together. It's a wooden door, so you've done a lot of damage to it. Peeking through the crack, you see what looks like a figure wearing like a big white doctor's coat. You see Grandarf is in the corner and she's waving her cane like defensively at this figure. And this figure appears to have large minotaur horns.
I call up to the door. Doctor, is she in any danger or is this all a giant...
Also, the doctor has a giant great axe. I'm sorry, a bone saw that it looks like it's going for Grandarf with.
Okay.
All right.
The idea was that this was a trick by Grandarf, but apparently
it does not
it's
appear
not.
to be a trick.
Okay.
The flame skull is going to go now because it got a 6 as the last initiative. It looks toward you, little bunny Fufu, and it opens its mouth, cackling wildly. And it is going to fly away from you. You can make an opportunity attack if you like.
You do not have blood. Leave me.
Okay, you don't attack it?
Leave.
Okay, you go to kick it. You miss, unfortunately. And then from, like, now it's a little up in the air in that room, a little above your normal reach. It's going to open its mouth and shoot fire at you twice. What's your armor class?
16.
All right, it gets... Oh, my God. All right. It crits you with the first attack for 18 fire damage. And then it rolls a 16 for the second for 7 more fire damage. So Little Bunny Fufu gets toasted. How are you feeling after that?
I am good, but you made my blood evaporate!
Okay. We're at the top of the initiative. Zarus, what would you like to do? You can see to your left, Little Bunny Fufu is fighting a flaming skull. Up ahead, Frostbyte is is trying to smash open a door, and you hear Grandarf crying for aid. What's your move?
I let my quarterstaff kind of slide out of my hand, and I grab the end of it, sort of like a baseball bat. I walk towards the flaming skull, and I just swing at it with everything.
Excellent. So you rush in. You go ahead, take your leaping. You leap up and take a swing with your quarterstaff. Go ahead and just make me an attack roll with that. Oh man, unfortunately the 6 misses. You miss with the quarterstaff attack. But do you want to take your offhand attack?
Yeah, as I do, I just kick up as hard as I can.
Excellent. Oh man, unfortunate roll there. But yeah, you go and swing twice. The quarterstaff misses barely, and then your feet go to kick it, and you hit it, but just it doesn't like do much, so it just moves with your feet. Unfortunately, not hitting it hard enough to really do too much there. Landing back on the ground, do you want to stay where you are, or do you want to like move a little bit further back away from the skull at the end of your turn? You got a little bit.
Yeah. You said there's metal like things all around. I'm just gonna
there's
like
metal
flip and
carriages.
jump on one of them.
Okay. You're gonna leap onto one of the metal carriages?
Behind it, yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, all right, cool, because you can use it for cover. Right. Awesome. So you're ducking behind one of the metal carriages. You think it would probably protect you a little bit if the flame skull tried to shoot at you with its fire, like it just did to Fufu. The zombies are all dead, it seems. Treetop, that means it's your move. What would you like to do? You see the same exact thing. To your left, there's a flaming skull. Ahead of you, there's Grandarf's cries for aid.
How far down is the door with Grandar in it?
It's about 20 feet down.
All right, I'm gonna scream a battle cry and run towards the door and throw my shoulder against it.
Awesome. I guess to make it easy, can you just make me an attack with your great axe, and we'll count that as your shoulder rush?
Yes.
All right, that's fine. It's not for the attack roll; it was just for the damage part. Can you go ahead and just roll me your damage there? Because you can't miss a door. You know, you hit the door.
A 9.
9 more. All right, that puts it to 17. Yeah. The door is already like pretty badly damaged from Frostbyte's magic missile, but with that, you crash through it, and you find yourself in a fairly small room. There's like a table where there'd be like an operating table. You see a giant skeletal minotaur holding a nasty-looking bone saw, menacing Grandarf, who is cowering in the corner. And the Minotaur, Dr. Minotaur, the Doctor, turns toward you and says, "You've made a mistake." And and the Minotaur has joined the battle. So.
And I look at him in his eye and say, "Fight somebody your own size."
With pleasure. All right, and we'll roll from Mr. Dr. Minotaur. Or. Right. Dr. Minotaur. roll your initiative. Dr. Minotaur got a 2, so Dr. Minotaur is slow. All right. We move to Fufu, little bunny Fufu.
You took my blood! You have no blood, but you won't be here?
Okay. Yeah, you leap up with your bunnyfolk legs and get right up to it. Go ahead and roll me your damage. It'll be 8. Yeah, the skull is badly cracked, but it's still kicking. Or still on fire, rather. And floating there. And it kind of like...
No more?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me your damage again. Just get that one. Another 7. Still kicking. It's really badly damaged, though.
You will be mine?
Alrighty. Frostbyte. The door is open. You see that your friend Treetop has heroically moved in to challenge Dr. Minotaur. What would you like to do? Grandarf is coward.
Snowball swarm.
Alrighty, you conjure forth. How do your snowball swarm work? Do all of your spider arms just begin throwing snowballs? That's amazing. I love the idea. Is that
I love the idea of that too.
Excellent. Just pantomiming throwing snowballs, and they appear, and it's just
Yeah, it's just a swarm of snowballs.
Damage. Wow. I will roll right now, and we'll see how Dr. Minotaur does against your snowball swarm.
All right.
Oh. Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, he's gonna just take 17 cold damage.
Keep in mind, this is a 10-foot circle too. So.
Oh yeah. So it's like it's just all over the place. It's barely missing Treetop and Grandarf, and just Dr. Minotaur's big. He's a big creature.
Yeah.
So yeah, 17 damage as the snowballs bludgeon Dr. Minotaur. Is that all you want to do, Frostbyte?
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do.
All right. And the flame skull cackles and is going to cast a spell. It opens its mouth and a little bead of fire shoots out toward you, little bunny Fufu, and it erupts into a flaming sphere, not a fireball. Can you roll me a dexterity saving throw? Alrighty, so you're gonna take 3 points of fire damage as it hits you, and it just kind of like backs itself up into a corner of the room, trying to hide, be like a little out of your reach. But you know you can jump pretty well, so you're probably able to still.
That isn't out of my range.
All right.
I think that's a question.
No, it's not actually out. Because you can jump and you're fine. Dr. Minotaur.
Opportunity.
Oh, no, he was already up. You had to jump last turn to hit him. He's floating about 10 feet in the air, like at the ceiling level.
I have a lance. My
You have a
character's lance?
Jeez, what? All right, go ahead. Yeah, I guess he moves out of your reach. Holy moly. All right, your giant metal... Now, he will use one of his last spell slots to cast shield. You don't hit him. He wants to live. He's got 5 HP left. So that's the Flame Skull. Dr. Minotaur. That was good, though, Sheba. Thank you for reminding me about that. I forget about that kind of stuff sometimes.
It's a carrot!
Yes,
named
the
a carrot.
The characters.
All right. Dr. Minotaur, like, looks at you and, like, wants to fight you, Treetop. But then he just got blasted by a ton of cold damage. He's got a bunch of snowballs thrown at him. So he roars and runs forward. He runs right past you, Treetop. You can take an attack of opportunity if you'd like, which means you get 1 free attack with your great axe.
As I grin and say, "You coward."
You'll hit him. Not a ton of damage, but you know what? We'll take everything we got. Actually, 5 is still pretty good. All right, you slash him. It rips his doctor's coat straight off, shatters a couple of the ribs. But he's not going for you. He's going right for Frostbyte, the one who just annihilated him with snowballs. And so he's going to charge. at you. So he's gonna make an attack with his bone saw. What's your armor class, Frostbyte?
14.
Alrighty. That's a 22 to hit. The bone saw begins to carve down your shoulder. But because he charged, he does an additional 2d8 damage. That's 29 total damage.
So I am unconscious now.
As he just begins to rip down your... Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, he can only do that if he uses his gore attack. So, actually,
Oh, thank God.
It's just a 19 damage. The gore attack is a lot weaker. I see that.
Oh God.
Oh.
I'm alive then.
So it's still a ton of damage, but...
It's still a ton of damage. I am badly...
The bone saw partially dismembers you almost. And we move to the top of the initiative. Zarus, what would you like to do? You're currently ducked behind one of those metal dollies.
Can I get to the other two in the one move?
Yeah, I think you could. Because Dr. Minotaur is kind of out in the hallway now. So as you exit that room with the flame skull, you see Dr. Minotaur ahead of you, right there attacking Frostbyte, your spider friend.
Well, I mean, I see Fufu's got this flaming skull pretty much, so I'm just going to run at the Minotaur as fast as I can.
Sure. You get right up to him.
As I'm just about to get to him, though, I just duck down onto my knees and slide underneath between his legs.
Nice.
Send my quarterstaff going right up between them.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. So you just slide underneath, whip the quarterstaff up, and you snap it down. Go ahead and roll me your damage. 5 bludgeoning. Well, once again, this Minotaur is made of bones, and bone creatures do not like bludgeoning damage. They actually do double damage against this guy with your quarterstaff. So that 5 is actually 10 points as you snap a whole bunch of its ribs, and it roars out, seemingly in pain. As you slide right underneath it, would you like to make your second attack?
Yep. So as I'm sliding, I wrap my tail around one of his legs and use
nice.
that momentum to spin around and kick him straight.
Alrighty. The 10 barely misses, unfortunately, though. He kind of pushes aside, and you get him in the pelvis, which, like, if you hit him hard enough, is a great hit. But it was just not hard enough, and he kind of resists it. Alrighty. So you're now in that combat with Dr. Minotaur, and we move to the next in the initiative, which is Treetop. What would you like to do?
I pull my great axe with both hands or behind my back, and I go to strike the Minotaur with an overhand from my back over my head.
Yes.
And let's see what happens.
And now you're seeing why this place is so large. It's sized for a giant Minotaur. But yeah, as you swing, Grandarf's like, kick his ass! And yeah, you hit him you hit him. Go ahead and roll your damage.
And I throw all my weight in there for 12 damage.
Man. Nice. So you put a pretty serious cleave. Bones kind of splinter. And Dr. Minotaur, how's Dr. Minotaur even looking? He's taken a lot of damage, but he is now at less than half his maximum hit points. He's officially what is considered bloody. Yeah, you took a big chunk out of him there. He's looking bad. Is there anything else that you'd like to do on your turn?
That would be it.
Fufu, it's just you and the flaming skull and a bunch of dead bodies. What would you like to do?
It is only me!
Okay. Yeah, you kill the flame skull. It shatters into millions of pieces.
Realm of bodies! Realm of blood!
Oh no. Are you just making that room into a blender?
Blood!
Okay, yep. You guys just see splatters of blood coming out from that room back there. As little funny Fufu gets weird. Frostbyte. Dr. Minotaur looks mad at you.
I imagine he's probably gonna get more mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
The web I was waving outside, how far do you think I was?
Oh, I don't know. I think you got a little bit of a web going on.
Enough to throw it as the net over the doctor.
You know what? I would let you use your action to try and use a net.
Alright, I'm going to do that.
All right. Do you know how that works?
I know it's an attack with disadvantage.
Okay. So the way it's going to work: a large, smaller creature hit by a net is restrained until it is freed. Yeah. I think you can just make an attack. Just make a ranged attack roll. It'll be using your strength, I believe, because it's a thrown item. So you can just hit your strength button.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're proficient in nets, so it's literally just.
I'm not proficient in that, so.
But that web. That
No, it's a dex. It's a dex because ranged is dex.
Oh wow! Is it actually a ranged weapon?
Yeah,
That's
you
very
use it as a
strange.
ranged weapon.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. I thought it would be.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, you use it with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Or is that incorrect?
I don't know. Just go ahead and make an attack roll. We'll just call it a regular attack.
Alright.
Yeah, alright, so you whip your net around, it wraps around Dr. Minotaur, gets caught all up in the bones, and your webbing appears to have caught him right good. Anything else you'd like to do? Do you want to run away, or are you gonna stick around?
I'm gonna run to Bud, be coming out of the room and tell Bunny and say, "Little Bunny Fufu, the guy in the net has too much blood. You need to get it."
Well, the Dr. Minotaur was going to make an attack of opportunity against you with disadvantage because he's now covered in the net. He gets a 19 still. Oh my gosh. So, you throw the net over Frostbyte, you rush out and say this to Little Bunny Fufu, and Little Bunny Fufu, as you're looking right in that direction and you hear that sound, you just see another splatter of blood from the hallway as Frostbyte gets a bone saw to the back for 19 slashing damage. I imagine
am
you're not
unconscious.
up at that. Yeah.
I am not dead. I am unconscious.
Still good.
Which is good.
The Flame Skull is dead. Dr. Minotaur's turn. Dr. Minotaur is covered in a big spider web right now, but he's still really angry. So he's going to turn toward the closest target to him, which is going to be you, Treetop, and he's going to take that bone saw, dripping with the blood of your spider friend, and slash at you. He gets actually, what's your...
13.
Yeah, he gets an 11 to hit.
Oh, 11?
Yep, he has disadvantage because he's got the net kind of hindering him.
He misses.
Alrighty, yeah, you are able to either sidestep or just simply bat his bone saw away with your great axe. And yeah, he's unable to hurt you. Zarus, it's your move. The Minotaur stands before you.
I show him the white of my teeth.
Your teeth are whiter than his bones.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit him.
All right, you have advantage on your attacks because he's covered in a net, and that restrains his movement. So instead of getting a 5 there, you actually get a 23, which means you hit him. And again, you're gonna do double damage on that because he is he's made of bones, and you're doing bludgeoning damage to him. So you end up doing 10 damage with that quarterstaff smack.
Yep, and I hit him again with my tail.
Excellent. So your tail whips him right in the back. Maybe wraps around a couple of his ribs and rips them free. You'll hit absolutely with this. You can go ahead and roll me your damage on that too. Oh, and that's also bludgeoning damage. Wow. Okay, so that's 12 more damage. So you've hit this guy for 22 damage that turn. He's looking really bad now. Yeah, he's looking very injured. This Minotaur skeleton is not long for this world. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Zarus? Any battle cry or something? Or just quiet? Excellent. Treetop, your move. This Minotaur's looking bad. A real good hit could do it, but it has to be a real good one.
I'm not even going to scream at him. I'm going to take my axe and I'm going to do a baseball swing on him. Like a bat. 21.
Okay. A 21 will absolutely hit. Go ahead and roll me that damage. As you swing with your great axe.
12.
You slam into the side of it, and although you don't really do bludgeoning damage with your axe, you've just bludgeoned him with the flat side of your axe. And as you kind of hit the side of this Minotaur's head, it roars out, but you hit it with such force that the head just goes flying, and the body just crumples to the ground before you in a pile of bones.
Then
And-
I turn and look at Mrs. Grandar and say, "We need to leave."
Oh, yeah, we need to get out of here. It's all right. I got him to sign my paper saying I was healthy before he died.
I
Grandarf,
start laughing with a big gut laughter.
All right. Well, oh, your friend is dying on the ground over there.
pointing to your friend of Frostbyte, the spider man who's just sprawled out on the floor, badly wounded, grievously wounded.
Yes.
Little Bunny Fufu, are you just going crazy in that other room?
Oh, my blood! Blood on the walls, blood on the floor, blood on my body.
Okay. So, Grandarf will use some little healing magic. You regain 1 hit point. As she pinches your cheek, you feel yourself regain 1 hit point. Frostbite, you're conscious.
Come on,
Thank
we
you,
need to go
Grandarf.
home. My cats are going to be angry at me if we wait any longer before they get fed.
And as you're all kind of walking down the hallway, you stop kind of at that door where Little Bunny Fufu is just going crazy, just making a bloodbath. Do you guys wait for him, or do you just leave him here?
I look at
Leave
him
him
and I
here.
say, "Come, Rabbit, let's get out of here."
Frostbyte says to Treetop, "It's best if we leave him here. He'll tire himself out eventually."
You know best. I don't know him.
Blood from this body and here, no, the rain.
I'll wait for him to calm down. Once he calms down, he'll fall asleep. And I'll get him out.
Okay.
Don't worry.
So Frostbite, you're just gonna hang out here while
Yeah,
the other
just
two.
sit,
all right.
just grab the remains of the netting that are on,
make a little like hammock.
and just start knitting.
Excellent.
Make a little dress or whatever.
So the rest of you, actually, it's just 2 of you now. Treetop, you and Zarus exit the building unbothered, and with Grandarf. And Grandarf says,
All right, let's go home. I have some cookies in the closet. I'll cook them up and they'll be so good. You all love cookies, right?
No,
Right.
I'm more of a pie man.
Well,
I
we
shake
could
my
make
head,
another-
yes.
If you want to stop by the market, we could do that and make another pie.
I look at her and say, "No, we're taking you home." And I pick her up and put her on my shoulders.
"Woo!" And you make your way back to Grandarf's happy little cottage. She thanks each of you, and does that old lady does that thing where she gives you a hug that lasts a little too long. But you know what? She means well. And she thanks each of you profusely. And as you go to leave, she gives you your payment, which is a small pouch containing 100 Bartholomew bucks. A currency that you can spend in Bartholomew's shop to get cool magical items and stuff. And congratulations, you all have completed the adventure. Grandarf has returned home safely from the Doctaurs, and everything is at peace in the world. At least that's what it feels like now, as you're just hanging out at Grandarf's house eating leftover pie, which is great.
Eventually,
Hey,
Bunny Fufu and Frostbyte
yeah.
come by.
Does the bunny ever show back up?
I mean, yeah, I think he does.
Eventually.
Hey guys, I fell asleep again.
Don't
Oh,
worry.
you're covered
I
in
knitted him.
blood.
I knitted him a nice towel to clean up all the rust from his fur.
Oh no, it's rust. I need to clean my carrot. Do you have some water?
Okay. Everyone, please, the pie is just going to be finishing in just a minute. Remember, you have to let it cool down or you'll burn your tongue.
And Grandarf goes to get you some water and a fresh new.
I look at the bunny rabbit and the spider and say that I have never seen this in the King's Guard.
Little bunny
you
Fufu
are.
just has narc. That's
yeah, I
all.
fall asleep sometimes. It's a little
Wait.
weird.
He just happens to wake up covered in.
Yeah, my carrot gets all rusty, and sometimes I guess I roll around in my sleep and get some on me.
Well, with that, I think our adventure comes to a nice, pleasant end. Yeah, you've all earned your 1 experience point and your 100 Bartholomew bucks. For those of you who are level 1, you are now level 2. It's that fast at the first levels. So yeah, you have gained an experience point, which, yeah, you get all sorts of cool new stuff at being level 2. And if y'all need any help with that, we can always help. And most importantly, thank you guys all for playing. You guys were great.
It was a pleasure playing.
It was a pleasure having you all.